Riding motorbikes, digital renegades ready to fight. Eurasian communists, they're on our tail, but we won't let them make our freedom fail. Soviet boomers trying to bring us down, but we'll never let them steal our crown. Satanic neo-Nazis spreading their hate. We won't let darkness determine our fate. Pagan feminists, they're out for control, but we stand strong. United as a whole in this sitcom world, we'll make our stand.
And we're live. Welcome to the Digital Renegade Podcast. I'm your host, A Dashing Rogue, and it's my frequent sidekick, Artistic Layman.
I apologize, dear listener, but I need a living host in order to escape the Hall of the Damned, and your bodies will be my only means of doing so.
Now wait, how did he record this if he was in hell?
How did he do that?
Horror
How
movie.
did he do that?
Horror movie logic.
Oh, jeez. There's a lot of things that we could talk about today. And actually, one of the things I discovered, and this was something that I actually wanted to talk about, previously, but I'm getting into the spirit of the season, let's say, right? And one of the things I watched was Nostalgia Critic's version of his review of, I think it's Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. Have you seen that, Luke? Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost.
Neither Nostalgia Critics Take nor the Schmovie.
Okay. I'm not even kidding when I say this. It has Tim Curry in it, and it has the Hex Girls. Do you know what the Hex Girls are?
I do know the Hex Girls. I am aware of them.
What do you know about them?
If I remember correctly, they're just a trio band that was made for the show, but unfortunately, that's the extent of my memory.
Oh, they're Wiccans, don't you know?
Oh, right, of course.
They're apparently Wicks. They're apparently witches and shit, right? So, in fact, if you look at
Let's see if I can find a picture
the
of
film,
them.
the thing that we're probably these women are thoughts as hell. But
when was this movie made again?
Jeez Louise.
Let's see if I can
In the
find
90s. And I'll just say it right now.
Oh yes, this was like when they actually made their good stuff. Like they actually they made it where they unironically were fighting ghosts, like actual ghosts and demons.
Yeah, they were actually taking on like things that could kill you. I think it was Beckloff who said that like if Shaggy's shirt is red, like it's actually
Yes, that's the ghosts
the
are real.
monsters are real.
Oh wait, his shirt is green. Oh wait, no, was that? His shirt is green. This one.
Oh geez, thanks. These fucking people. Oh, I hate these characters. I don't know. I mean, I like them, but at the same time, I really do not like this movie. Why?
I'm aware of the shipping drawings between Shaggy and the girls.
Oh
no.
R35, Luke. Actually, you giving me more R35 material. Thank you. Such as a thing it actually exists.
Oh
no, but
this 1999. Wow.
Jeez, yeah. I
forgot.
know, right?
This right before 9/11, before the whole world, before my political world destroyed everything.
Yeah, and yet here's the issue. If you zoom in, go up, I think 6 minutes in, I believe. Let me see if I can find the exact. It's right there. Right there. Why do I bring this?
Why so much? They went overboard with how fat they get when they eat too much.
Yeah, but one of the things that got me about this whole thing, and the reason I bring this up, and you, by the way, go watch the original. In your own spare time, go watch it. I like Nostalgia Critic. I think when he's good, he's good. When he's shit, he's poor shit. But the thing that really spooked me about this was that apparently they used Wiccan anachronistically in this film.
And meaning what?
They were saying that the people of Salem were Wiccans.
Huh?
Yeah.
Wait, No, but they weren't.
Or one of the witches in Salem was a Wiccan. They retroactively claim oppression, if that makes any sense. In this film,
are they trying to say
Wiccans have been oppressed? Like Wiccans have been oppressed. Wiccans have been oppressed. Oh my God!
Oh, they're actually going the kind of the Crucible route where they're saying there actually were witches there, but they were actually just misunderstood and hated.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is technically, how shall we say it? This is agitprop. They're going out of their way, and I'm like, this is grossly misinformed.
Hey, watch yourself, Fred.
I take
watch yourself, Fred.
Like, the world. What is it? The cure for loneliness is not a redhead, but apparently a fucking goth chicks.
Oh dear.
I'm not kidding when I say, like, I think there's going to be a chance, especially coming up since it's the Halloween month. Oh God, if I see the goth cleaning lady. Oh Lord.
Goth cleaning lady? Which one's that?
Oh, the goth cleaning lady from my freaking work.
Oh, right.
The one that actually, I think she's, I don't know. Yeah, but unfortunately, there's so many hags and shit there. No, but there's so many freaking hags at that place. So, you know, for all I know, I go back and, well, I might not see her again, because here's the thing. She only comes out after dark. I don't know what it is about people out here. But like, I don't know if there actually are vampires in fucking Arizona.
Looking at this old cartoon from the 90s makes me very nostalgic and sad, because Hollywood is basically obliterating anything related to animation just because it's too expensive to make.
And one of the things I've been telling people, and I think I told you and I told Beckloff, is build your own IT servers. Like, build your own, like, home servers so you could host some of this stuff.
Well, it's not just the hosting. It's just that no one's even trying to make stuff, because it's just... No one's know how, because I mean the only reason why we have anime in such abundance is because they basically work their artists to death, and in America we're just too lazy to make anything interesting.
Well, it's also the fact that they don't want to take risks, right?
And also they don't want to. They think, like, I actually watched a video made by Saber Shark.
No, I don't.
He's a, I don't know if he's Christian, but he has he kind of like a nostalgia commentary kind of channel, but it's all like mostly animated. And he made this observation that in the 90s there were a lot of cartoons that were based on like advertising, because, you know, like the Transformers was actually an advertisement for the toys, and so they decided to hammer down on that. But I thought, but that's how cartoons make money. If they don't make money, then they can't justify their existence.
No, I got. You know.
Oh, that's what he was talking about. Yeah, he was talking about like internet brain rot, and talking about how there's no restriction of internet brain rot, and there was actually, because TV actually corrected that. But no, TV didn't correct that. That actually was the way that cartoons made money.
Through brain rot?
No, through advertising. The problem is, like, brain rot is just a race to the bottom to try to make the most dumbest thing you can make. Okay, let's see. YouTube's getting worse. I'll find it somewhere.
Yeah, YouTube is getting fucking worse. And, you know, we're getting into the very last... Like, we're getting to the era of that YouTube might very well be ending soon.
Here it is. Here's
oh, no.
This is his commentary on, but he's pointing out the fact that the 90s, TV 90s, like, kind of brought under control. The government kind of came in and got brought under control to say that you can't do that. But the thing is, that's how cartoons justified themselves. They weren't making... Because cartoons... I mean, at the end of the day, I love animation, but if it's not making money, that's not going to last very long, because this stuff is very expensive to make.
Yeah.
Just because it's just time-consuming.
Yeah, and, you know, I recently picked up, what was it, the Batman the Animated Series, like Blu-ray?
Oh, yes.
Oh, dude, on Blu-ray, I will hook you up. We're gonna hang out more often, Luke, because, like, I think you're gonna you're taking a break from the podcasting days, right?
Only a break from the podcast, but I'm trying to focus on anything and everything else, because I'm trying to actually do what I should have done like a decade ago.
Dude, that's awesome. Do what you need to do, and I've often told you, you know, if you always have it, if you take care of you first. I podcast and all that stuff that comes second. You know, saving the West is a side quest. We are focusing primarily on our own lives, and you need to do your own thing. That's fine. Because here's the thing, Luke, you actually have a really, really awesome Mark script video, project setup, right?
I wish the rest of YouTube felt that way.
Well, honestly, dude, it looks professional. It looks like something that what if Alt-Hist could make.
Ah. Well, he
Yeah.
probably does. He probably doesn't. He gets he probably used B-roll footage because I actually bothered to edit my stuff, which takes up too much time.
Your over editing stuff made it look so fucking good. Honestly, that was really really good. And I'll be frank with you, the numbers don't lie. It was better than my stuff, better than everything we have so far. So the fact that you're doing stuff that's actually useful, and I share it with people. I will share that with people because it's so good, right?
Oh yeah, and hopefully the next part will be just as useful.
Oh, dude, I'm hoping for the next part. Next part's actually really really cool. Like again, I don't know where you're going with it, but I have an idea. I don't want to get any spoilers, but given what we know about the world and all the crazy crap that Hegel believed and all the insane, like James Lindsay is right again and again, and it's funny that Homer Simpson and all that crap's going off right now.
Yeah, because this was what Brainwalk used to be, just 90s television watching commercials. But now it's all contained in the personal devices and YouTube poop and all that jazz. And YouTube's not really. They said, "Oh, we have YouTube Kids, therefore it's okay." Like, no, not really.
Well, you do know there are channels on YouTube that let you watch like classic cartoons and crap like that, like for Saturday morning, right?
Yeah, but it's just not the same though. Like you get the whole mood of having a collective I know it's young, but having a collective consciousness created through our televisions and having like a shared society, a shared entertainment source. But the internet doesn't allow for that. You make your own niches and you make your own little pocket societies within the larger whole.
It's like in Metal Gear Solid 2.
Oh, that's it.
Everyone withdraws to their own gated community, like r/Reddit or r/ whatever the fuck it might be, right?
Mm-hmm.
r/ homebrew, some whatever the hell it might that be. But yeah, like you're not wrong, and this is the reason why having shared niches. Like, who is this guy right here?
Saber
We're watching Saber Shark. Do you know of the gentleman by the name of Feral Historian?
Feral Historian? No, I don't remember.
Okay. So let's see if I can.
Elsa Gates, all that stuff.
Oh my god!
Feral Historian, was it?
Feral Historian, yes. Let's see if I can find it. Feral Historian. This is the type of guy I like to watch, and there, like again, the biggest thing that I like about, I think the thing that really brings out YouTube is your ability to continue to talk and continue going. Like that's something that's good, but you also have to have stuff to talk about. Like I talk about my life, and I talk about more of what I see in my criticisms of certain political.
Oh yes, I like this guy. Feral Historian, he's great.
He is amazing. He is like a more matured version, like a middle-aged version of Razor Fist. He really is. Like a few. No, you know what it is? Was it the Hegel's thesis antithesis, which is like Razor Fist and freaking sticks, and then we have the synthesis, which is fucking Feral Historian.
Although what's interesting, although it is interesting to note that Hegel didn't actually use those terms. He used abstract negation concrete, which is to say that how we have our abstract ideas and they manifest into concrete reality. And then Marx took that to imply like how capitalism, like, so first we start off with feudalism and go into we go into capitalism and we have the concrete idea of communism eventually.
Yeah. We're gonna make anime real. We're gonna make anime real. We're gonna bring heaven on earth, and we get to define what heaven is.
Oh yes, that's really scary when you realize. And to get back to the thing about Hegel, my series, it is really scary how ubiquitous these ideas are, even if they don't know how to articulate them properly. Because no one reads Hegel, but you probably believe in Hegel without even realizing it.
Oh, dude, like I oftentimes think that Hegel really, at the end of the day, like he was a phenomenology of spirit. He was the phenomenology of the warp. That's what that is. Phenomenology of the warp. Like it's Warhammer 40K.
Oh yeah, and if you ever try to read his work, I mean, it's not like obnoxious the way Marx is, but it's so lengthy and weird because the guy was an autodidact and he tries to incorporate every single term and every single word into his own incredible run-on sentences, and it's like you have to listen. Like for me, I have an audiobook of his work, and so I just listen to it, and so I try to pick up the few concrete points and try to make a coherent sentence, but it is hard. It is like really like, okay, that's what he meant to say.
Yeah, honestly, he's autistic. I mean, he's autistic. He has a certain way and certain, safety words and whatnot, and obsessions too. He's very obsessive and very categorical. No, but Feral Historian's pretty good. I like him. I like his work. But other than that, like, I really think that putting the U back in YouTube is what's going to save YouTube or save even the content creation space, because it's this talking and whatnot and just like streaming like it is. That's slowly coming to an end. And between Ricada and all them,
I honestly, I never really liked streaming myself because it's just so time consuming. And I almost never watch a stream unless someone recommends how awesome it was. And no offense to you, Dashing, of course. It's just
absolutely not.
It's just that the thing I like, because I took Jake Trent's class on how to make viral videos, and he gave it a lecture on the process about how to make it more commercial, how to make it more like a television series, and you can make money off of that. It's just not YouTube anymore. Like, it's not. I mean, technically, the kind of mentality I want on YouTube exists on Odyssey or Rumble, and what's annoying is that I want it back on YouTube again.
Yeah, and here's the thing: even if you were to go with that episodic approach, you would have to come up with new material and whatnot. Like, I could see you doing something like that with AI. I've toyed about the idea of using AI to like retell stories and whatnot, and given the fact that, I'll just say it, I like drawing beautiful women with AI.
Or generating beautiful women.
Yeah, I like generating beautiful women with AI to the point where, like, I go back and I'm watching, like, again, Batman the Animated Series, and I'm watching like the introduction of Catwoman, and I'm like, oh my god, I could see why my parents did not like this show. Like, it is quite literally an enjoyable thing to watch just because of where they went and where they couldn't go, and they literally were like a fucking Roomba trapped, trying to like map the space, and it just keeps going forward as fast as it can and as long as it can until it hits the wall, and then it just adds more to it. So, like, I think
this is what I just made. I randomly made on Leonardo earlier today.
Oh, dude!
Just they allow a dice roll, so they give recommended descriptions.
That's pretty amazing.
But what's really weird though is like they this one image is blocked on my personal feed because it's too explicit. Like, how is this explicit? I mean, Leonardo can accidentally make like naked characters, but this is not explicit. I don't see how this is explicit.
Because she has cleavage?
I guess. Like, great, even the AI is like TV safe. And that's kind of like where the sadness of it all is. They're trying to make the internet like TV. Like, no, I watch the internet because I don't like TV.
Yeah, well, the only way you could really, like, I'll just say it, like, I like Feral Historian. Every Friday, he's literally there, right? Like, it's every Friday he makes a video, and I like it. And he actually comments. Like, I actually asked him, will you do a review of Elric of Melda? And he said, it's been a while since I've read it, because of course he fucking reads it, because he's a reader, and I'm not a reader. Like, I'd rather summarize. I don't get the enjoyment of reading that other people do. What is that, Luke? Is that something you made?
Well, no, it was a randomizer again. It was like just a awesome sea landscape.
It's fucking beautiful.
Oh, and this one I was really... Oh, and sometimes they're just so accidentally beautiful, like this one. Like, just the color and the character is just so lovely.
I use, what is it, Civet AI, I think it's called.
Yeah.
That is something that, like, you gotta be careful with that one.
Yeah, it defaults to sexual and profane imagery.
Yeah, it does, but at the same time, I kind of like it that way. Simply put, because let's not kid ourselves. In an age of censorship, most of the gun channels are going to Pornhub.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But
they are, though.
Yeah, this image was fun. I tried to incorporate this image into my video.
I might, given the fact that we're temporarily going, we're not going our separate ways. We're still hanging out IRL and whatnot. It's just that we're, again, you're taking a break, and I'm going on a quest. I'm trying to think of how this would work. We're getting out of the bunker, and now we're going to go on our separate journey for now, because that's what the background is. We need a new background at some point. I need a new background. And given the fact that I've gotten out of the COVID bunker from way back when, maybe I will have a new background. I'll go forward. Oh wow, Luke, she looks like one of my Instagram models.
Unfortunately, if there's a slight error if you take time to notice it. Like right.
Her hands.
Yeah, her fingers.
Her fingers. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh man, I'm trying to find one I did that I could possibly show.
Well, that's a little hard on CV, isn't it? CVT, isn't it?
Civ AI, whatever it's called. Yeah, it is very hard to do.
I mean, it's not impossible. It's just like annoying that it defaults to that a lot.
Well, yes. I mean, let me just say this: it could be a time sink, giggity, if you know what I mean. It absolutely could be a time sink.
And of course, it's also fun to make like celebrity. It's also really good making celebrity shots, like Leonardo.
Jesus Christ!
This was a fun. Nah, it's a little too ugly. Let me find a good one. It's a caricature image, so it's not the best, but it's fun.
Oh boy, caricature. Oh man.
And actually, I asked it to draw Hegel, or to make a caricature of Hegel. Let's see if I can put it on here. Here we go.
Oh, he's a fucking kraut. That's a PUBG's Prussian right there.
Of course, he's actually this one had given him a lot more hair because his hair was really thin. And I didn't know this, but I actually saw read a biography of him. Apparently, he was 40 when he fell in love with an 18-year-old and got married to her. Actually, married
wait, is winning maybe? I mean,
although it was a little awkward considering he impregnated his landlady years before.
Good
and
Lord.
because the pregnant lady appeared at the wedding to protest the frustration of the whole thing. Like, oh, good grief.
The fucking Krauts acting naughty.
I'm partial. I originate from there. Yes, we are acting naughty.
Again, I'm from there too. You know, I'm part of that. I'm part of that insane Kraut posse as well.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like I said, time sink. I'm trying to find stuff that I could show, and I'm like, just don't settle, because here's the thing: you can show a lot, and I like to show a lot. I really do like showing a lot of stuff, because depending on how good you get with some of this stuff, it can be very, very good or very, very bad. The reason I like doing it is because of, well, like this, Luke. Here you go, right here. This is what I like to do.
What's this?
This is my muse, or so to speak, or where I like to go with certain things. Right here. That type of style.
Oh, it's
art.
It's gorgeous.
It is, and I kind of want just again. I didn't make this, by the way, but this is the type of stuff I'm into. Like, I like to make stuff that looks like it's from like the 80s and 90s and whatnot. And you can make your own stories about this stuff.
Old classic pulp covers.
Yeah.
Although this last one might not ever be a pulp cover. It would be a little more Playboy, probably on Playboy.
Again, as somebody who kind of likes, like, let me just say this: like, the first time I encountered an AI has been with that Tay, right? And what did the internet do to Tay? Well, what did they do to Tay? So it took raw access to the internet with Tay for like 14 hours, and then she became an anime obsessed, sex addicted, drug addicted neo-Nazi.
Oh, she's alt-right.
she becomes alt-right, exactly. And so part of me, like, I've always said I wanted to like start a business with the AIs and have like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, like Snow White be the freaking how shall we say it, the desk secretary or clerk, whatever, and then have like the IT team be the Seven Dwarfs, and just have a business based on that. I thought that'd always be cool. But besides, AI and whatnot, we can easily tell stories with this stuff. Easily.
I mean, it'll give you at least, at the very least, it could give you a draft of the story, and you can fill in the gaps yourself.
Exactly.
And sometimes it can even give you moving pictures. Not the best, but there's kind of moving pictures.
Like that? Oh, wow.
Come on, play. Silly. No, I have to make it into a GIF later. It won't let me upload it that way.
Oh, man. That's...
Anywho.
So let's get down to the wire and figure out what the hell's going on in the world. Well, apparently the bird is no longer the word, and apparently, dealing deals with demonic birds doesn't pay.
But what?
But then
will he tell? Does he tell us exactly what happens, or what?
Just play it for the audience, Luke. Because here's the thing, I like to think of this as the part of the series where the evil wizard has been, imprisoned. Let's say, because here's the thing that people don't understand. He got arrested, right?
Arrested.
And he got arrested in New Orleans. He's from Vermont. He's a stranger in a strange land, and he's basically, he can't leave. He has to stay in Vermont until they fucking get rid of him.
Oh, that's what explains the new background.
Yep, because he's in a hotel. He's in the same place that I kind of was way back when this whole pandemic started. Yeah.
Talk about weird times. You probably were wondering where I was for an entire week. Actually, I was in jail. Don't worry, I'm going to have no problem with the charges. They're pretty spurious. But I do have some fun stories with regards to that. Now, of course, I'm not going to talk about the specifics of the case for legal reasons. And actually, it turns out that Jeremy, the quartering, was the one that posted my bond. So a big shout out to him. I owe him a number of free live streams.
So what exactly happened?
So apparently, Carl Warwick, Styx Hexahammer, the Birdman of Amsterdam, the man who gave Galadriel, Dutch Galadriel, the bird seed.
Who claimed both Galadriel and a brunette. Who are we calling the brunette as?
Emo Arwen. Emo Arwen. So Emo Arwen and Dutch Galadriel, apparently they got together, right? And from what I understand, he's still married to Dutch Galadriel. That's apparently the truth. So he was groping a fucking chick, right? And
I remember when it happened during the debate. I was like, that was kind of friendly. Like they're just talking about stuff during the debate, and all of a sudden his hands get a little too close.
1 hour and 25 minutes in, please.
1 hour and 20 minutes in?
1 hour and 25 minutes in.
Let's see, 25.
Undead Chronic, by the way, shout out to Undead Chronic because he actually figured this out. He also is somebody who apparently, leaked the Jack Murphy bullshit. He's one of us. He's one of the people who's actually not getting into this fucking... They're not putting their face out there. Like, there's the faceless and then there's the faced. People, like, we're moving away from, showing your face in the world and now moving back to content actually people want to watch.
A lot of people I know just don't even have a Facebook anymore because, I don't want that kind of aggravation.
I don't... dude, the moment they asked me to turn on my camera and then take a picture of my face, like a 3D... Like a 3D picture, like a, what the hell you call it? Panoramic photo of my face. I said, nope, bye. And that's the end of Facebook. No more Zuckerberg for me.
Crown, I would respect him a little bit more if he actually just was like, I was completely wrong.
So you go from like a -100 respect to like a -99.
Yeah, it'd be enough to be like, he can admit he's wrong, right?
I got something that's worse. I got something that's going to make it say more. Hunter Avalone, pivoting to making Wigga Cyberpunk drill with the most dogshit bars imaginable, is a shockingly predictable career progression. That should
let's go to
F.
1 hour and 26 minutes and 42 seconds.
Let's change it up. Okay, we got Styx.
There it is.
There it is.
Okay. Styx Hexenhammer hates MGTOW. He hates the red pill. He thinks men need to man up. He says women and men should be allowed to do what they want, and then, quote, as long as men aren't fucking around. That's what he says. I got the video. We'll watch it. But here is Styx with a woman who is not really into him, apparently.
I wonder why.
Now, Luke...
Wait, she's not?
She's not really into him. Tell me what this reminds you of. Okay?
What does this remind you? What? Where?
Just play it. Keep playing it.
Let's see what happens here. Okay.
Darling.
Ooh.
How's anybody listen to this guy?
Yes.
You gotta show it to us as well.
Oh, sorry. This is really cringe. You're gonna wish. Chat, tell me if you still want to see
Ah, damn it!
Tell me if you still want to see it.
Oh no, man!
She was not comfortable with that.
Shoot, it reminds me of Pepe Le Pew and the freaking cat.
Ooh. Ah, the June. Ah, the moon. Ah.
Like, look at her face and look at her body language and tell me that isn't the freaking cat from Pepe Le Pew.
Okay.
Like, put them both on screen and tell me that isn't what's going on right now. Now, don't get me wrong, New Orleans is a French city, right? There's like some French shit going on there.
Let's see, where'd I put it?
I have without you.
Get her.
Sweet nothings.
Wait, you said no?
The
Stick
sweet
says
no.
things. The tender enrapturements. But I forget. But of course, the rendezvous.
It does. It is so Pepe Le Pew. Holy shit!
And Pepe Le Pew does that when no one else is looking. He does that when on the whole. I mean, Styx is doing this on stream for the whole world to see. I wonder if he's drunk.
Here's the thing. A lot of people are saying that he's like a really, really bad alcoholic. Like a really bad alcoholic here. And keep playing it, Luke, so we can keep hearing it.
This is really cringe. You're gonna wish. Chat, tell me if you still want to see
Ah, damn it!
Tell me if you still.
Yes.
Okay, look.
That's what Bigfoot said earlier.
This is if I was in his shoes right now and she reacts that way, it's like one, I'd stop there entirely, right? It's
Yeah.
like I don't want any other shit. But also, if she's not like okay, so it's one thing if she's like, you know what, no, I'm just not feeling it tonight. Like that's one thing, right? She is pushing him away. She finds him like revolting.
Wait a second. Is that Lauren Southern? Lauren Southern. Did she have to jump onto the next grifter, bro? Let's watch it. There's only 6 seconds here.
The fucking zombie.
We done?
No.
Okay.
She's like, give me your audience, please, so I can
Bro.
get a better simp.
She is willing to let a dude she's not attracted to grope her on camera if it means people
She
still
does have
see her.
very beautiful hair, though.
Oh yes, very impressive.
She is. Again, emo heroine is heroine. Okay. Unfortunately, she's wearing the bird merchandise, so that's not cool. We don't wear the, the bird will not be the new blacked. Just saying. Oh God, seated. Shit. Oh damn. That's why you don't use glamour, Sticks. You don't ever use glamour.
Dude is an absolute twink-looking motherfucker.
Dude, we have fentanyl John Lennon up in a bitch here. Look at the guy.
I'm not gonna lie. If this is the guy who would say that I'm a retard, I'm wrong, my ideology XYZ is wrong, I'd be like, thank God that's the guy saying it, right? Like you don't see guys that go to the gym, deadlift like 4 or 5. You don't see those kind of guys shitting on Red.
This bitch is making around. Like I've been talking about this chick for some time. Autismo, right? That's what they're gonna call her. And I'm thinking to myself, it's like a Mazo, like from like again going back to because I'm gonna be buying the entire Boost Tim collection at this point. Like given all the slop that exists of AI and fuck, they even have Bruce Timm art style. They have the Bruce Timm art style, Luke.
Yeah, they try.
They do try, right? But at the same time, like, even if you were to make the art and everything looks perfect, like, you have to have good stories to tell, and there just isn't good stories anymore. It's better just to build your own, whatever the hell, and just not even retreat from the world, but just don't give Hollywood money for shit. Don't give money to people who hate you. Build your own archive and whatnot. Keep going.
And who does, though? Little twink? Bitch ass.
If I can figure it out, I'll make my own AI server, compilate my own artwork, and then make my own art style.
I'm willing to help you. You have that system set up still. You have the other system.
Somehow. I don't know how it works.
I will gladly help you. We'll do it sometime, because I set up mine recently.
Cool.
Yep.
Little betas.
I mean, I'm pretty sure my wrists are bigger than his biceps.
Yeah.
Bro, I think my urethra can pump more fluid than his heart. I think my urethra can pump more fluid than his heart, bro. I'm serious.
Gotcha.
It's not just that we get to dunk on him. Even the libertarian autismo girls are dunking on him. So this is.
Is she libertarian or not?
He's a libertarian, yeah. She's like, I don't tolerate misogyny. I'm like, well, she's one of those like left libertarians, the one that Let's just say I used to know girls like that who were teachers, but they were trained to be teachers, but they were libertarians, so they were like kind of based moms, kind of based cat ladies, catwoman, so to speak. Yeah, like actual like a middle-aged Catwoman. Selena Kyle Catwoman. Not this one though. Keep going.
A libertarian chick that does libertarian content. She's only 1,000 subs, so I'm not hating on her today. But even she is talking about how Sticks Hexenhammer has been charged with domestic abuse battery. She shouts me out in the comment section. But anyhow, this is Chaz's looks match, soul match, whatever it is.
Fuck off.
Just listen. Oh, dude, if you see her shorts, bro, she got some weapons on her. It definitely makes up for a lot. I'll say it like that.
But she got that bod.
She could probably knock Chaz out if he tried to motorboat, right?
Oh,
That's
God.
what I'm trying to say. Okay.
Chaz, get after it.
Let's see.
Hey, I'm Morgan, and today I'm here to talk about how Sticks Hexenhammer 666 has been arrested. I received multiple news tips about this, including from users Miss U Chi Miss 1161, Stevie McConaughey, and Morgan Sadler 9265. So I decided to look more into this. I know from Sticks' publishing that
she's a fan that bought his shit. Oh, it's gotta hurt even more. Oh, it's gotta hurt even more.
His name is Charles.
This very well could be the very end of Six Hexenhammer, and there's a very good reason why, right? Oof. He's stranded away from home. He's away from his mother. He's away from his father. He went into jail, and it was bad in jail. All right, for him. It was very bad for him in jail. It was very bad for him because in New Orleans, it's like one of the worst places you could be because they put like 5 or 6 people in one cell. Oof. Yeah, like 9 or 10 even in some cases. So Birdman quite literally has become a Birdman of Alcatraz. I don't know if we mean that against him. I didn't mean it. I mean, Aries, please forgive me. Right? Like she's my ex-girlfriend, and God damn it, Luke.
Bruce Timm's figures are very attention grabbing, eye catching.
They look like idealized teenage. Are they like teenagers or something? Like they're in high school?
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, they're supposed to be. Yeah, they're supposed to be in high school. And I look back on now, like that's so unrealistic. High schoolers couldn't be this sophisticated. Would never be this sophisticated.
Like even if they did dress like that, like they're not gonna act like that. They're gonna act like fucking white trash, if anything.
And
anybody who dressed like that at that age.
I just remembered. Remember the original when Spider-Man became a cartoon show, like in the 90s.
Yes.
They were supposed to be high schoolers and college kids, and like, yeah, this is way too sophisticated for like freshmen or high schoolers.
Honestly, I like to think of the way I would explain this away in canon is that Gotham's fucking weird. It just is. Like they had Tommy guns in like 100 years ago. I think this is supposed to take place in like our timeline.
Well, it's like a cyberpunk future where the buildings are like giant monoliths hovering over people.
Yeah, so basically what 1990... Oh, no, Luke.
Starfire's evil sister.
Was there a Darkfire or whatever her name is?
I forget her name.
I don't know, but not the same thing.
They were really going for the anime style back then.
Honestly, I preferred Bruce Timm. That's just me. I don't know.
Right now, I'm holding up a copy of 2099, The End of Wokeness, that says Tarl Warwick on the bottom. So what I ended up doing was I ended up looking in the criminal district court docket master search.
Never underestimate the power of autismo to ruin someone's life. Just keep looking up court records because she feels slighted. This is great.
On the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office website, and I can confirm that Six Hexenhammer 666 has been charged with domestic abuse battery. But I cannot reproduce that document without express written consent of the persons or the Orleans Parish Criminal District Court.
See, she follows the rules. Good girl. Good girl. Everybody out for Morgan. Thank you for confirming. Autismo, libertarian, I don't know, corset-wearing chick. I'll get you Chaz's number soon. Okay. Oh.
It's that one chick all over again. I can already see the DM.
Well, would you rather be looking at her or looking at this?
Oh, go back, man! I would rather...
Oh, God.
Well, this is way back when, isn't it?
This is back... Jesus. He looks like he's back in high school. Holy hell. He might actually be in high school in that regard. There actually might be a building there. Jeez.
Oh, YouTube Shorts. If you have a chance, they have if you watch some shorts, there's actually a comic book character called Autismo. Although I think he's based on someone else's comic book work.
Oh no, autism. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh.
Let's see if I can open this here. Open and I copy. I know I'm interrupting the show, but I want to put this on screen.
Oh, sorry. Hey, who's this guy? Who let this guy in?
I just,
He's got a real funny face. I like your face, guy.
Thank you.
What a cute, funny face. You want a cookie? Can someone get this guy a cookie? Got a very soothing face, and I like looking at it. It's like a Matisse painting.
Whoa.
Ugh.
9 years ago, Six Axe and Hammer made this video. MGTOW and third wave feminism, identical branches of one behavioral sink.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong about it, but they're not from the same. They're not from the same cut from the same cloth, so to speak. Like, I'll be frank with you, I'm against feminism entirely.
They're kind of. I mean, isn't MGTOW like a reaction to third wave feminism?
It is, but at the same time, like, how long are you going your own way, right? Like, I'm going my own way until I lose this gut, and then I'm gonna start going after chicks. When I lose this gut, when I lose this weight, and then I feel comfortable approaching chicks. Before then, why even bother?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's find out why. Let's go.
I see this happening right now. When I look at third wave feminism, I'm not talking about suffragettes. I'm not talking about women want pay equality. I'm not talking about women want the right to own property.
That's still feminism, though, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's still a wave of it.
For someone who made their money off of YouTube and discussing politics, you don't even know what feminism is. That's embarrassing. That's honestly embarrassing. Let's continue.
Not to be treated equally under the eyes of the law. I'm talking about modern, postmodern, third wave feminism in what appears to be a
Third wave feminism was divorce. You've been divorced twice, Six Axe and Hammer, because you changed.
Ooh.
He's been divorced twice. Now, here's where it gets interesting.
Wait, but I kind of knew about the first one, but where's the second one?
You'll get to that. Listen.
Chased your first wife around with a sword, and you chased the second wife around with a dagger.
Wait, what?
Play it back. Play it back.
Chased with a... Wait, what?
Talking about modern, postmodern, third wave feminism in what appears to be a
Third wave feminism was divorce. You've been divorced twice, Six Axe and Hammer, because you chased your first wife around with a sword, and you chased the second wife around with a dagger.
What?
He chased his first wife around with a sword, and his second wife with a dagger. Luke,
was that Galadriel? Was that Galadriel? What?
He chased Galadriel down with a fucking dagger.
So he didn't leave her. They divorced.
They're not divorced, from what I understand.
Huh.
We don't know what the fuck's going on, but this guy could be like, stop listening to the bird. The bird has literally put you in a cage.
Maybe I'm mistaken about my YouTube desires. Maybe it should just be a hobby that I occasionally engage in. If this is what happens to all the famous people.
Well, again, if you're doing it to save the West as a side quest, if you're doing it for like some money here and there, and like you get a little bit of money, like, hey, you do your little your marks thing and say, hey, please donate to my Patreon if you feel good, or go donate to my coffee, whatever the hell it's called. It's called coffee. I think it's called coffee.
Well, I don't have a coffee line, but that seems to be the thing that everyone does now.
Well, there you go. That's what all the hipsters like,
Although I probably, considering my mindset, it would probably be selling mugs and T-shirts with my artwork on them.
You could always do posters and put them on and staple them to a fucking a signpost or something. I
wish I could I would rather go the way of Glitch and have a cartoon series, but that's like a way off topic. I would never be able to dress Marks at that point.
Poco a poquito, little by little, mate. Let's keep going.
So, are you against divorce? That's third wave feminism. You're talking about fourth and fifth wave feminism. You don't even know your waves of feminism, but you're going to say MGTOW is feminist. Ridiculous. The uneducated. Although, who would look at this guy? Who would ever look at this person and think that they're intelligent? I mean, not me. I wouldn't.
I mean, he has a pentagram on him, so of course he's anti-Christian. It means of course he's intelligent.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's like the apex predator. He's like the fucking the perfect organism. Not clouded by morality or it's a survivor. Not clouded by morality or delusions of therefore of. Like like the
social
alien.
justice crusade, specifically to convince men that there's something wrong with them. Other associated ideas, men are the problem, men are horrible, we should, avoid all men. We shouldn't have kids because it's the patriarchy, it's oppression of some sort. And they get very loud and in your face about this many times, it appears. And it roughly mimics what you might think of as Calhoun's observation. The difference, of course, being a mouse isn't capable of the same range of emotional arguments. The mouse isn't capable of the same range of intelligent or unintelligent sort of banter in support of their opinion. When I see organizations dedicated to third wave feminism, I say they are basically an anthropic attempt to explain the emotionally aberrant behaviors that had already been observed doing it is rather small. We won't be able to have enough time looking at what happens to them in their own population.
Okay, this guy's. I got other things here. This guy's
Blah,
boring
blah,
as-
blah, blah.
Boring as hell, bro. Oh my goodness, boring as hell. Here we go, where he talks about holding men accountable but not women. Okay, let's listen to this. And here he is. This is who bailed him out, by the way. Wait a second. Let's connect the dots. The quartering. Who does the quartering sit for the most? We roasted her before.
Sydney Watson.
Lauren Southern?
No.
I don't remember.
She got scared of Jack Murphy.
The red hen?
No, Sydney Watson.
Nah.
Oh, yeah.
Learn your grifter lore. Gosh. Okay.
I've been slacking, man.
Sydney Watson was doing a show with the Blaze when the war band raided the show, caused Jack Murphy to say "F you, Sydney Watson" and storm off the stage with his Mr. Eggman looking ass body.
Wait, what's Edme? Oh yeah, Sydney Watson. What else is she known for?
She's just being the squeeze of the quartering, and apparently the quartering was in a hot tub with her at one point, supposedly.
Oh, so they're dating or what?
They were something like that. Well, he got divorced as a result of it.
Oh.
Or something along those lines.
Was that the news agency he was part of, but then couldn't support anymore because he just ran out of money?
I don't even keep up with the grifter lore, dude.
I mean,
I don't
either.
keep up with these people.
I have glimpses of it, but I don't know what like. There's just too much going on, and this, honestly, I can't keep track of it all, so I might as well make my own little corner of it in the meantime.
Maybe in like, I would say like 20 to 40 years, we have like really, really advanced AIs that will just be able to analyze an entire decade's worth of content from YouTube.
Yeah,
it's
easier. It's easier to keep track of history when it's past and not happening at this very second.
Yep. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Luke. I'm not even watching like any of the political stuff. I'm just avoiding it entirely because there's no reason to. And moving away from that, I sent you a picture this week. I don't know if you've seen it.
Because watching the political stuff doesn't stop illegal immigrants from voting, then what's the point of watching it?
What's up now?
Yeah, if constantly watching political stuff doesn't stop illegal immigrants from voting, which they are we know for a fact they are, what's the point of watching it? You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean. I mean, there's only so much you could do, and I've seen more immigrants out here. I don't know. I don't know how to distinguish the two. I don't know how to distinguish them. I mean, if they can speak English, that's like the easiest way, right? If they don't speak English.
Yeah. So where it like? So you saw this in town?
I saw this in town near downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those of you who don't know who that is or what that is, like the lady said when I first took a snap of this. Thank God there's a bush there.
Because he's naked.
It's a naked fat bastard Trump.
So someone should have made this to mock Trump, but you went out of your way to make a replica of Donald Trump. Who does this really speak badly? Who does this speak badly of, Trump or you?
I learned something the other day that Trump is actually based. Lex Luthor as we know it, like the Clancy Brown version. Or like the one that we know that him as a businessman.
Oh yeah, that episode where he takes on like the android god. It's like oh wow, Lex Luthor actually told him down.
Yeah, well Lex Luthor apparently is based off of Donald Trump, right?
It was originally like what?
No. Well, here's where it's interesting, right? So like originally before like the X-Men and all that, the X-Men just had Magneto as a stock villain. It wasn't until I think it was either Kirby or one of these guys who showed up and made him like an allegory for Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Charles Xavier respectively, right?
Oh yeah, because Lex Luthor originally was a mad scientist who had because in the more recent incarnations of the cartoons, he is like a mad scientist using weapons and gadgets and doing the fighting himself. But if you watch the original, like when he first came out with the whole WB cartoon, he's just a businessman who runs everything from the sidelines.
Yeah, Exactly. And here's an example for you, because again, when they redid, and this is like post-crisis, I believe, because I've been watching a lot of like comic book lore crap, whatever, because that's what I do with YouTube. I'm interested in actual fucking cultural artifacts and things that I'm interested in watching. You know,
Kingpin.
I'm actually
yes, that's what it's based on. They tried to make Kingpin off of him.
No, he's Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor was originally supposed to be.
Oh, this is supposed to be. Oh. They're trying every single angle. Oh my gosh.
No, like this is Lex Luthor's. That's not new. That's not new. This is old.
Oh, is that so? How old is
this? This is legacy information. This is not people just saying Trump is literally Hitler or Trump is Darth Vader or Trump is Dark Maga. All this crap.
Oh,
no,
wow.
There actually is, before pre 9/11, people comparing Donald Trump to Lex Luthor. There actually was a thing like that. Now, that being said, I like Lex Luthor as a villain, even in the comic book and even in real life in this regard. I like Lex Luthor. I think he's a very, very compelling individual, let's say. I like Clancy Brown in that regard. I kind of want to just go pick up that whole series now. But no, like, all honestly, like, it's up. It's up in the air, guys. Like, I will do my best to vote. But I am at the point where I legitimately am wondering if I jumped out of the frying pan into the fire, given the fact that we're so close to the border and back in Caladan, let's say.
Oh wow, this comic was from 1989.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. Again, don't let these guys who will blindly and rightfully so back Trump, because let's not kid ourselves, he's been tried to be assassinated 4 times now. Yes, I've been keeping track, and yes, that includes within the lifetime of his entire presidential career.
Wow.
Or political career, yeah. They're trying to kill Lex Luthor. and to be honest with you, given how the media has been treating him, that you would think it would be a fucking Justice League story. Like,
but Lex Luthor's supposed to be the bad guy.
But Lex Luthor runs for president.
But yeah, he does. Although in one version he does kill Flash, but gets him killed by Superman, and they go down that dark path. But
Well, there's also, if we have Lex Luthor, who is Amanda Waller?
Oh
boy,
Deep State.
Kamala.
Nah, Amanda Waller's Amanda Waller's way too competent to be Kamala, to be Amanda Waller.
Let me just say this: Amanda Waller, I like Amanda Waller a lot. Like, between Lex Luthor and Amanda Waller, I like Amanda Waller because she is somebody who legitimately, like, she looks like an HR lady, but she actually is competent at what she does.
She is genuinely terrifying.
Yes. You people talk about representation. Amanda Waller, there you go. And she actually, like, form meets function. She's not going to be fucking fighting. She can fight if she needs to. But hell, I don't know. Anyhow, besides statues of fucking Lex Luthor, Trump, whatever the hell you want to call it, and Birdman.
But who's Superman? This little audio clip here.
Uh-oh.
Let me see if I can play this audio here.
I'm afraid we already have a window washer.
Oh.
Anywho.
Insane.
So,
alrighty.
So the Bird's going in jail. He's probably going to destroy. He's probably destroying his career. Is there anything else to add?
Well, let's see what else we got here. He's destroying his career, and let's see if I have it here. Let's see. He got bailed out, by the way.
Yeah, from quartering, right?
The quartering bailed him out. Yep, that's where we're standing right now, and he's gonna go to. He's in trial right now. The trial of Guybrush Threepwood, because that's what that is. He wanted to be a pirate, and now he's in New Orleans, and he's with the voodoo people.
Interesting city. Great music, by the way. And you'll see some weird here, but overall it's, pretty lit. I'm going to enjoy my stay. That's about all. Peace out.
Yesterday, people were massively sharing that clip because it looks like a very accurate prediction, given the stories that he had to tell today about the things he saw in jail. Yes, for those of you who haven't been following, Styx Hexenhammer was arrested for domestic battery. And many people on the internet were like, oh, so this is why they call him Clankers. But all jokes aside...
Oh.
Yeah, clankers. But also, at the same time, this actually did happen, Luke.
Huh?
We have his warrant here.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't good for him because he happened to be in New Orleans. And from my understanding, that is one of the most dangerous prisons in the United States. It's a very old prison. They usually house 9 people or so together. I couldn't find anything about the jails
New
they have,
Orleans
but from my understanding, in the
is
United
a
States
prison,
jails
confirmed by the Romanian. New Orleans is a supermax prison. It actually is like a demonic prison. In fact, because Tarl, they got him.
Is that his real legal name? Tarl?
Yep, Tarl. Yeah.
Did his parents give him that, or did he give himself that?
He gave himself that name.
Oh, of course he did.
are sometimes even worse than prisons. So for him being a white dude...
Although it's nicer than Carl. You have to it's pretentiously awkward, so you have to force yourself to say it.
Well, apparently it's based off of a Gore novel. Like his parents named him after a character from a Gore novel.
Really?
Huh. Yeah, the one that people say Rouge V want women don't like. Rouge likes Gore novels. That was what people were saying, or whatever the fuck the King of the North was rambling about with Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's from the same thing, and I guess his family are the ones who raised him.
Uh-huh.
So his family are a bunch of pagans, and they named him Tarl.
Not affiliated with any organization. The way he looks is not very intimidating, and the type of charge he caught. I mean, usually in the United States, prisoners don't look very kindly to people that commit crimes against women, the elderly, disabled, children. And prisoners are not investigators, by the way. They don't care. If they see that charge on your paperwork, it's bad for you. He can get extorted. He can get roughed up. So the quartering decided to bail him out. And I believe that the bail was in the tune of $7,000, probably a little bit more or less. But it wasn't that big. Yeah. And the quartering got a lot of flack for this. A lot of individuals were like, well, why do you assume he is innocent? Why do you presume that he didn't do it? What is this nonsense? Innocence until proven guilty. Why are you doing it? And the quartering responded with the following tweets. People are allowed to have their opinions, but I am withholding judgment. Domestic type situations are often very messy, and the man is usually not given the benefit of the doubt at all. I'm not going to talk about it anymore until he is released and then has his story to tell. So, yeah, I mean, if you look on social media, there were a lot of police officers, and you can check out that they are police officers by looking at their bio. And they were saying that usually in such cases, they just arrest the man. If they arrive on the scene and the couple is arguing, and it's a he said, she said type of thing, they just arrest the man. That obviously depends from state to state. It depends from police department to police department. It actually depends on the actual officer, the culture, the mentality of the people there.
Schizophrenic. Not even schizophrenic, but Parkinson's freaking troll Romanian. I don't know. It just bobbles back and forth and whatnot. I actually am debating, given the fact that when we're going to be heading out here, if I should go 3D or not. If I should be less 2-dimensional and more 3-dimensional. Not just in real life, but also, and wow, Tarnsmen of Gore. Oh no, that's shit that the Tarl was named after.
Some of the artwork is not too great, but the better artwork is very interesting. The capture of Gore. I wonder if I can. It's very pixelated. I have to find it somewhere else.
It reminds me of Dark Sun. Dark Sun from D&D Dark Sun. If you type in D&D Dark Sun. That's the type of stuff that I'm thinking of. Wow. Look at that ass. Look at that ass, Luke.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Damn, that's like the 19...
Captive of Gore. That's the word I'm looking for.
Captive of Gore. Uh-oh. What are we watching?
It'll take forever to find a good image.
He didn't go in front of a judge. He didn't plead guilty, nor was he found guilty. And due to the fact that the quartering and him are friends, he is willing to give Styx the benefit of the doubt. Now, again, for those of you who don't know, behind the scenes, Styx is viewed very positively because he...
here it is. Let's see if I can upload this thing. You see it?
I see it. Yep.
There we go.
Oh,
He has helped a lot of content creators. He has spoke out for smaller channels. So this is why a lot of content creators like him, but they can't believe that they did something like this, or at least they're trying not to believe that they did something like this. So,
oh yeah, that reminds me. I actually was part of that whole like channel shout out thing he did like a couple years ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, like Matt Forney did it. He recommended it to me, and so I thought I'd slip my name in to see if it worked. And it did technically work. Unfortunately, YouTube canceled out all the new subscriptions I got from it. Like apparently you're not allowed to air subscriptions that way.
Oh wow,
that's not fair.
Oh, I understand where the quarterback is coming from, because he said on the live stream, it's like, look, I want to hear his side of the story, and if it turns out that it's bad, then he's not going to work with Styx anymore. I believe that Styx and the quarterback were supposed to do a podcast in the future, and if it turns out that the charges are legit and he can't explain them away, then the quarterback is going to distance himself from Styx and he's not going to want to associate. But if it turns out that either it's not very bad, like they just had a dispute that they were screaming at each other and then the neighbors called the cops, but like there was no violence, no nothing like that, then that changes things. And this is the rationale behind the quartering. Again, he got some backlash for it. I would say it wasn't significant, but enough to pop up on his Twitter timeline. Meanwhile, Styx did come home. It took a long time after the quarterback paid the bail for Styx to actually get out, and the quarterback was annoyed because they took his money right away, but it actually ended up for a couple more hours until Styx was released. And he is now posting on Twitter. He hasn't uploaded a single YouTube video yet. But he is saying, long story short, I was absent due to being in jail in New Orleans for a week due to stupidity. Met a really cool murderer and a dude in for a drug dealing. Plenty of chill criminals, more chuckleheads than in the general population. Now, people pressed him hard on this, and as you can see, like, this post has more interaction than all the others combined. And they're like, okay, so you're admitting that you did it? Because you're saying that you went to jail due to stupidity. To which Styx responded that it wasn't my stupidity. So he's being vague about it, but as I mentioned in the previous video, this is probably what every single lawyer would advise him to do, not to talk about the situation until it's resolved. So for those of you expecting a story about this, I wouldn't hold my breath. He does say that, honestly, the criminals and criminals
that
today
won't
were
stop
way
the other
cooler
birds
and
from targeting Birdman. More specifically, the birds of the avian plantation. Because the avian plantation has been going freaking crazy over this whole scenario with Styx. Like, it has just been worse and worse and worse for him this whole year. Between, him getting divorced or his separation, let's say, because let's not kid ourselves, they're physically separated from Galadriel and the baby, because he has a kid, he got married, and for all I know, they still are married. He gropes a girl who's basically wearing his merchandise, which is incredibly fucking weird. I'm just thinking about. And now he's in New Orleans jail, and there's a hurricane coming. Yeah. I think he might have a coming to Jesus moment here, because the bird is coming.
Out of sincerity, or for the sake of his channel.
Sincerity, yeah, maybe. But here's the thing: how is he going to pay for his like every day how much do you think it would be for a hotel, right? About $200-$300 a day.
Yeah, the cheapest hotel is like $100 a day.
Right. So you have to ask yourself, if he moves out there and he's on vacation, he doesn't have much cash, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is he going to be able to survive? He has to buy groceries. He has to buy food. He has to clean himself. He has to do laundry. He has to live, right? So $300 a day, which he can make, he can easily make that kind of cash with just by doing live streams. That's all he has to do. But here's the thing: he can't really turn down our money now, can he?
Nope.
He really can't. So, now is the time that if anyone wants to say something to him and you want to put your money where your mouth is, now is the time to do it. Not saying you should.
He could always just ignore it and take the money.
Yes, he could. But eventually, let's not kid ourselves. He's in no position not to do that, because then people just will stop watching him.
Hmm.
And if they stop watching him, he'll lose money, and it'll slowly get to the point where he might not be able to pay his rent. So he kind of is fucked in this regard. Audience capture right now is very, very, very much a real possibility and a danger for him, if not for the environment that he's in. Stranger in a strange land, combined with the storm that's coming, that's already wrecked through the entire, United States. Or not the entire United States, through Appalachia. Appalachia is basically destroyed. You know that, right, Luke?
Oh, it's sad.
Yeah,
And,
it's
and what's
basically
worse, and the thing that makes it even worse is that the government's doing literally nothing. They're doing worse than nothing. They're stopping people from helping.
it's like fucking Hurricane Katrina on a continental scale.
Ugh.
Yeah, on a regional scale. It's not just New Orleans. Oh God, can you imagine what would happen to New Orleans if Birdman gets, like I keep saying, it could get very bad where he has to flee, and for all I know, that fleeing we'll never see him again. Like again, if the charges are legit, we may never see him again.
Oof.
He might just fall get lost in a tragic boating accident, unironically.
We're halfway down the.
Let's see, where's a good shot?
And then
Yeah, keep talking. Just footage.
Yeah, New Orleans footage.
I'm sorry, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Ooh, no one saw this coming. Like the house is literally rolling down the river. Oof.
It's getting really hard for a lot of people.
But at least Kamala Harris let them know they'll get $750. Like, look, the house is flowing over. Ah.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There are pictures and videos of like people of Appalachia, within caravans, like horse caravans, literally like
horse. Yes. Where's that image?
Yeah, I'll show that video, Luke.
Horses.
There we go.
Horse-driven caravans because the roads are just too impossible to cross by car.
Which is, like honestly, that is amazing. People doing that for their own neighbors and whatnot.
That's what America is based on. Look at the road. It just collapsed.
Oh God, I can't even tell if it is a road. Oh wow! Oh,
True blue
sinkhole.
True blue Americans, right there. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Or red blood, blue Americans, red blood Americans, whatever word you want to do it for.
Yeah, swamp folk.
Or the redneck folk, or the what was the word they call J.D. Vance? What's the nickname for himself?
Bible Belt. Weird.
No.
Let's not kid ourselves.
It's supposed to be like uncomplimentary, like the word redneck, but I can't remember what they call him.
Let's not kid ourselves. This is very, very weird that this is happening. And it's not just because J.D. Vance, it's because they literally are LARPing their way to success by basically having a freaking caravan. And no, I'm not going to say that caravans don't exist. I'm saying the old technology that just works. Old methodologies just work, guys.
They always work. They're just not as fast. They may not always be as fast, but they always work.
Yeah, and even if they are a little bit weird and they do smell weird even. That's like the worst thing you have to worry about. Like apparently horses sweat like white. You know that?
Do they?
They have like this very foamy like sweat, like white sweat.
Mm.
Yeah. Really, they're weird creatures. Beautiful creatures, but incredibly freaking weird.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, like all the attempts for Waltz to call the Republicans weird, it wasn't J.D. Vance. No. Tim Waltz didn't do this, but apparently Kamala's husband slapped a woman so hard that she spun around.
Kamala's husband?
Yeah, husband. Yeah, he's supposed to be the epitome of the new masculinity. It turns out years ago when he was dating a woman, he slapped her so hard that she spun around in a valet. In a valet parking spot.
What does she look like? What does he look like? I want to see him.
The husband?
Yeah.
It's years later. Where was the image? Camping ending, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and it turns out the images of Kamala Harris' documentary, they're not what they say they are. Apparently the old woman who's supposed to be her grandmother is not her grandmother.
Oh,
they're faking
Christ.
everything possible. It's amazing.
It's like she's a female Obama, isn't she?
Oh, exactly. Oh, that's what everyone's calling this as. Let's see, where's a picture of them? Oh, poor deer in the headlights, Tim. Hillary. Where did they go? Oh yeah, there's the husband.
That's what it is. So you want, people who literally are outwardly misogynistic in their policies and the way they talk about women and the policies in which they've already enacted and have talked about enacting, or Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. It's completely binary.
And then it turns out that he's an abuser. And it's also very likely that Kamala Harris is fully aware of this, yet tried to shove it under the rug. This could be game friggin' over. I mean, what a joke. The hypocrisy is just insane. They keep promoting this Doug Emhoff guy to us as a soft, supportive man, as the new face of masculinity. I mean, it's the cringiest shit I've ever heard in my life. Jen Psaki recorded this.
Shaped the perception about your role here. Interesting part of how people have talked about your role here is how
you, Raggedy Ann.
Here it is.
Your role has reshaped the perception of masculinity. And I'm not sure you planned on that, but you are an incredibly supportive spouse. Has that been
Talk about jumping the gun there. Like, this does not age well.
Ugh.
See if I can find
roles of what it means to be a man.
This is something I've thought about a lot, and something I've spoken about a lot. There's too much toxicity. It's masculine toxicity out there, and we've kind of
which you contributed to.
He has a beak on him, doesn't he?
Confused what it means to be a man, what it means to be masculine, where you've got this trope out there that you've got to be tough and angry and lash out to be strong. It's just the opposite. Strength is how you show your love for people. Strength is how you are for people and how you have their back and how you stick up for other people.
Okay, I'm waiting for you to show me how you do that.
Yeah, cuck. Exactly. He is a cuck. I mean, he absolutely is. And he even has like that penguin aesthetic.
Oh, wow.
You can see it.
Oh, yeah.
He waddles. You got the cackler and the waddler. Ugh.
I mean, the memes have been fantastic from the debate. People have said, like, Tim Waltz and J.D. Vance were like Bugs Bunny versus Elmer Fudd. Oh, it's hilarious.
It kind of is. I mean, you seen the memes of fucking Tim Waltz with his side glance, right?
Yes, that's where they come from. Oh, if I could just find it. They're so beautiful.
He has very beautiful eyes, it's true. He's very pretty. Even to the point where, like, people are still,
people are texting, if you're actually texting, I don't know why, but I kind of think J.D. Vance is hot. Like, Mom, really?
He's wearing eyeliner, dude. Like, even when they edit stuff and they, like people will still, like, use his visage with eyeliner and everything. You know that, right?
Uh-huh. Here it is.
Yeah, like
Uh-oh.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God.
And that scene's when Bugs Bunny is going Elmer Fudd's hunting.
Oh God.
But
pushing out against
Hillbilly, that's what it is.
What happened to freaking Lamar James? Jeez.
Lamar. And that's what I believe it is. So every time I can speak against this toxicity, we're seeing it with our younger people, we're seeing it in our discourse and our politics. It's out there.
This guy's condemning toxic masculinity. They're attacking J.D. Vance for being a misogynist. Donald Trump, of course, they've been attacking him for years. But look...
Anyway, back to the tragedy that is the North Carolina.
Well, it does... You know what's even worse right now, what we don't need? Besides North Carolina being screwed over, we don't need Dockside Extortionists.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look, the house is just floating down the river. Like, oh, the roads just don't exist. The bridges are obliterated. They can't even get out. But I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What were you saying?
No, like legitimately, there's so much shit going on in the world right now that you're not we can't keep track of it all. We really, really can't. So. If I'm going to stream, I'm going to stream a lot more as I encounter stuff that's just random stuff that's going on. Because
I know we don't like the line, but chaos is a ladder, and it's a ladder for certain people. Like, I mean, George Soros basically says he makes chaos so he can lead people out of it, and then to find them for the way out.
Oh, jeez. Like, I was going to say that, now that the dock union is striking, right?
Oh, I thought that was that resolved yet, or what?
I don't know what's going on with that.
Let's see where.
All I know is. Here you go.
Here we go.
If you were worried about inflation, here's another event that could cause prices to go up. And what that is the East Coast port strike. First time ever, possibly since 1977. We're talking about an association with 85,000 members, the International Longshoremen's Association. This is the North American's largest longshoremen's union, about to strike after midnight.
Oh, port strike ends after dock workers reach a contract agreement. Okay, so this was resolved.
Thank God, because this could have very well affected Israel and Ukraine, and it could have affected. It almost certainly did affect the United States because we don't get to ship out We don't get that shit in, you know?
So, like, what's the deal here? Are they complaining?
U.S. port workers are returning to their jobs today after reaching a temporary labor deal to end that strike. Frank Holland joins us right now from Bayonne, New Jersey. And Frank, what's it look like there today?
Hey, good morning to you, Becky. Well, yeah, the sun's just coming up. You can see behind me, the cranes aren't moving, but they are expected to get moving later on today. Things are expected to get back to normal. So from now until January 15th, ports from Maine to Texas, including the port of New York and New Jersey that's right here behind me, are going to be back up and running as the first East and Gulf Coast port strike in just about 50 years. That's come to the end on a tentative agreement, again, until January the 15th. The ILA Union and Port Operators, USMX, they've agreed on wait.
Yeah, they look like union workers, too.
They look like union bosses. They look like mafiosos.
I mean, they are syndicates, and where do you think the word fascism comes from?
Yep, there you go. And to be frank with you, the biggest problem here is these guys got too big. Everyone talks about big corporations. What about big syndicates?
It turns out they're the same word. Like in Latin, when they translated the doctrine of fascism, the word they have for corporation is the same as the workers' union, trade union.
Oh wow!
I did not know that. So basically, when they say people complain about corporations, they mean that it's just bigger trade unions, which actually makes a lot of sense when you think about it.
Well, then I'm one of the biggest ones out there then.
Oof.
Oh, wow.
Wages with a 61.5% increase over a 6-year contract. They're going to continue to negotiate other issues, including, and maybe most importantly, the use of automation and semi-automation at ports. Right there, you see me talking to Union President Harold Daggett.
Oh, that's what it was. They're going to take your gerbs.
They're going to take your gerbs.
The rubrics are take your gerbs, oh dear.
Rubric, take your gerb.
That's when he first told us about the union's demand of 61.5%. The union has been highly vocal about their opposition to automation because of the potential impact to jobs. We're hearing from President Biden. He issued a statement.
And oddly enough, this is just Marxism working because, if the world wants to take our jobs, where are we going to work? Because they're taking our value away. But no, yeah, it's going to be I know the transition sucks, but it's going to be a work. I mean, new work will come up. I mean, there's my job, which I don't want to mention in detail, is potentially could be so easily automated, but I carry on with it. I just have to carry on with emotions.
Well, they want me to use automation at my job as well.
Mm.
So
use automation make you use automation, or have you replaced with automation?
AI.
So they want you to use AI.
Yes.
Oh, are they going to copy you and replace you? I
don't know. But the idea that I'm copyable and replaceable is kind of fucking scary, don't you think?
It's actually a fun sci-fi concept because all this talk about AI gives me story ideas, which I'm sure AI would beat me at already.
Oh boy!
But the AI needs the details. It's a good tool, but it needs to fill in the details. I've never been too satisfied with anything I've made from ChatGPT. Anywho,
I don't know.
On this tentative deal, he said in part, I want to thank the union workers, the carriers, and the port operators for acting patriotically to reopen our ports and ensure the availability of critical supplies for Hurricane Helene recovery and rebuilding. The president mentioned a number of times that having a strike at the ports and the hurricane at the same time was very bad for the economy, put a strain on the supply chain. He goes on to say it is critical to building a stronger economy, talking about this tentative deal. The president also repeatedly said he would not invoke the Taft-Hartley Act to get the union and the port operators back to the negotiating table and keep the ports open. However, we now know from sources that are very familiar with this tentative agreement that the White House played actually a key role in getting this agreement done and getting these two parties.
Oh yeah, because Jimmy Dorsey can have a fit about this. Oh, how dare the White House is not going to capitulate to the unions? The Union Joe is not for the union.
Union Joe's gotta go.
Oh, is this our new topic now?
This is our new topic, yeah.
Autistic life expectancy. Uh-oh. Ooh. This will be interesting.
Because here's the thing, I thought the dock extortionist problem was going to be really bad because there are people still running around picking up toilet paper immediately.
Like what? Picking up what?
There were people picking up toilet paper.
Oh
yeah. That's how scary this was.
Because automation.
But so much stuff is happening. Keep going.
I mean, at least not like the pandemic where you actually expect it.
We were expecting it because it could have made it so that nothing would get in.
No
parts, nothing.
Oh, yeah.
But 30%, and you should know about this. You know why? Here's a number for you. Watch this. Port of New York and New Jersey handles $240 billion of annual goods. A strike just in one of these ports could cost $641 million in one of the ports. The one in Virginia could cost $600 million a day. We're going to talk about that today.
That's a lot of power there.
That's a lot of power.
And this
is
a lot
at the same time, this is East Coast. Yeah.
This is a lot of makeup.
That Slanesh is with her.
Ooh, yes, she does. Oof.
Yeah.
question was the obvious one, which is, okay, so I'm going to die early. Why?
This is a woman, right?
I hope so.
What's going to kill
I
me?
like her. I like the
And
accents.
This is where it gets
I
really,
won't say
really
it's
dark and
posh,
depressing.
but because she's not.
So hello, you wonderful human of the internet, and welcome back to another video about autism. This time, however, it's quite a depressing
I don't know why they call him
autism.
human like that. Like she sounds like the goth cleaning lady. I thirst after. You know. She also used the term human. I don't know what it is. Is it just a way of avoiding, the gender shit? Like, I hope not. Because then if somebody decides to be a mad pixie dream girl, I don't know if that's a description or an actual gender.
But that is impressive. This is impressive, a combination of makeup and camera, because I can't tell if her eyes are real or hand-drawn.
Really?
Like, just in this one freezing, her face looks like it's drawn on. It's creepy.
Oh, wow.
Relates to our life expectancy. And
it's the camera and the image. It's like, it looks like it's hand-drawn on her face. It's creepy.
But we don't have much of it. I first came across this in a TikTok, which was spreading really gross misinformation, as TikToks tend to when it comes to life expectancy and mental health conditions. I've seen a lot of them being like, you're only going to live into your 30s if you've got such and such, and it's like, please, please, please.
Most people get too bored when they're past their 30s, honestly.
Like, I honestly, dude, like, my highlight is literally just, rip a few DVDs, sit back, go off for a walk, drink some soda, and go to the Goodwill. That's what I'd like to do.
Where was the ending of The Secret of Life? What was that show called? Monty Python.
42?
Secret of Life.
Meaning of life.
Meaning of life. The very end, this is, meaning of life, that's it. But anyway, let's play this her.
God, go to Google, this is false. So anyway, the TikTok I saw said that autistic life expectancy was to 36 years old. And I think this has got to be bunk, because I'm 37, and me, the walking catastrophe, who's had eating disorders, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, all these things, I don't think I should be the one who's like pushing the boundaries of life expectancy here. I don't, and I've got multiple friends my age or older who are autistic. 36, come on.
I hope
So
I hope it's a she. I really do hope it's a she.
I'm pretty sure
Just
it is.
say it.
Just the makeup makes it hard to tell.
She's like a cyberpunk doll.
Should. And I found that it was bunk, but that actually the truth is not much better. And the truth is really, really, really quite depressing once you dig deeper into it. So the true autistic life expectancy statistics that I could find were, if you have higher support needs, i.e. you're lower functioning, as people used to call it, your life expectancy is 38 and a half years old. That's basically it for the high.
38? How does that average out?
That is scary shit. What, it's because no one helps them and they basically can't help to wipe their own ass, therefore, that they just become a burden?
I mean, it is an average, so do they just die prematurely or what?
The heart gives out, maybe, I don't know.
Higher support needs people. However, if you are someone like me who is higher functioning, as they used to call it, or Asperger's as the category used to be, your life expectancy with autism is 58. Bear in mind the life expectancy statistics in first world countries for neurotypical people is in their 80s. So you're losing decades of life in life expectancy. So,
I see people, the difference between the 50 and 80. I don't know if I want to go past that, honestly.
Well, it's also the fact that at 50, you're, well, let's just say that, are these people who are actually being treated? Or how many of these people are, like, do they have the symptoms and they don't act on them?
So, obviously, once I found this out, my next question was the obvious one, which is, okay, so I'm going to die early. Why?
I'm going to die early.
What's going to kill me?
Are you actually going to die early or just statistically going to die early? Because those are two very different things.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, statistically, I'm going to not live as long as the average woman, but that's not really going to be, that's not something I worry about.
No, I got you.
This is where it gets...
Although, if I were married, I would take that into consideration. Like, I gotta leave something behind for my lovely wife when I pass away.
Yeah, I don't know if this thing's gonna have a wife, but I'll tell you this: I love the accent. I'm a very, between her voice and her eyes, man.
It's really, really dark and depressing because the first cause of death for autistic people is epilepsy. That largely relates to the higher support needs people, so the lower functioning people. Apparently there's a big crossover with epilepsy. Epilepsy can be fatal. And obviously if you're nonverbal and you don't have ways to communicate, oh, I feel a seizure coming on, there's a word, isn't there? There's a word for like the taste in your mouth or the thing you hear, or an aura, is that what they call it? Like that you're getting the aura of a seizure coming on if you're nonverbal.
Oh, so that's what the epilepsy is, a brain disease where nerve cells don't signal properly, which causes seizures. Ooh, boy.
God help us.
Yeah, I can definitely see that in autistic people, because I mean, isn't there like some sort of for most autistic people, isn't like a biological defect in the brain?
I don't know, but I'll tell you this is the first I've heard about biological defects. Because now we're getting into, like, there's an ideal, right? Like, how much of this is, like...
I'm talking purely biologically. I'm not talking about ideal. Like, if you're... Like, I mean, one of the biggest problems with, like, people... Like, not autism... Like, Asperger's, is that there's a clear biological disconnect between their brain and their body. Because even they're kind of aware that they can't act the way they want to act. And so there's like a huge, like this brings in the question of like human agency and free will with these people, because they want to do something, but they can't process it and they can't express it properly, which causes these weird outbursts, these weird control emotions, which is why autistic people, people on, what, oh dang it, I've lost my train of thought. Great.
People on the spectrum, yeah.
Not the spectrum, like, yeah, with autism, this is why they seem to never mature, because their brains can't develop the right way.
That is very interesting. I'd have to look more into that.
That's me speculating, but that's what it seems like.
I think it's honestly just, they have fresh young minds that never really age and calcify, so they keep rewriting over and over their brain, so they start losing their mind and they basically gain Alzheimer's. That's what I'd imagine.
And especially when they get older, they have the mentality of someone who's like still 10 years old. Like I remember this one, the documentary Vax does this. It shows like a kid who's like clearly a teenager, but he's like pouting and mad and angry because his father had to go into his room and get into his space. And people with autism, they don't like that. They really don't like it when you interrupt their schedule and their space. And he started rambling, "I'm gonna kill Daddy. I'm gonna kill him." Like, oh brother. That's scary. And there's a big kid. He's a big kid. It's terrifying. Like a kid with that kind of strength could probably kill somebody.
Oh, indeed. And the real question then becomes, how much of this is just a disconnect between communication between the parents and the kids, and how much of this is just being egged on by the mental health system, basically enabling that dynamic, right? Because you just give them a pill.
You're about to have a seizure. And so it's quite likely that epilepsy is going to be fatal for you if you're nonverbal. But obviously, that doesn't apply to me because I don't have epilepsy. So I was like, okay, so what's cause of death number 2? Cause of death number 2 for autistic people. So I would say this is cause of death number 1 when it comes to high-functioning autistic people. Suicide. Obviously.
Oh, your brain is too overactive, and you don't think it's so sad.
You want to have a stimulation of your brain.
Well,
she looks like a fucking anime character. God damn it!
It's not even that, because there's a book called As the Sun. I forget the name. I think it's When the Sun Sets. It's actually one of the books that really has a comprehensive view of what suicide is, and I actually got interested in it because of Orville of all things. And people who is suicidal is a person who genuinely believes that everything would be better if they were not alive, like almost an unshakable conviction of that, and that's a pretty terrifying experience. I can imagine that's a pretty terrifying experience because I've never had that experience.
I'm too narcissistic to fucking, think of that type of turd. Just saying.
But wow, that's the second killer, huh?
Oof. Yep.
Suicide. And that's really tragic. Because I don't like the idea of a long life. Honestly, I don't.
And the examples the book gives are people who seem to be so full of life. They seem to be so energetic, but realistically, they're just trying to cope. They're obviously coping with something. And it's like sad the way when they finally go too far with it.
Oh, jeez.
I don't want to be here for a very, very, very long time. I have a lot of thoughts and feelings around that belong in a whole other video, really, when it comes to being passively suicidal and just thinking, I don't really want to act on suicide, but I don't want to be here. That kind of sums up my feeling most of the time, really.
That could be a potential precursor to it too.
She's good. So the frickin' the replicant is gonna blow her own brains out and be decommissioned.
Oof, yeah.
the Blade
It's
Call
also-
Racer
it's-
Vista Blade Runner.
It also explains why suicide is kind of like a weird thing for people, because throughout history, people had like interesting beliefs of why people commit suicide. In fact, most of the mythology of vampires comes from like people who are suicidal, because people who commit suicide would either be buried with a stake through their heart or buried at the intersection of a road to prevent them from coming back from the dead.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
So that the carts would run over them and keep them down to the ground. Like there were a lot of interesting theories about why suicide occurs, because it is kind of weird for the average person. Like, why would anyone want to end their life? It makes no sense.
It's like that movie. God, there's a lot of weird lore on this stuff. I don't know.
In the last couple of years, like I really have this feeling like I oughtn't to be here anymore. Like I feel like my batteries are worn down, and I feel like I've just overstayed everything.
Get some kids. That's going to help. Get a husband and kids. That might help a bit.
You know, you could just start de-glamorizing yourself, and eventually, like, you keep the eyes, like, maybe keep the hair if you want.
Although, that might not help either, because that would just be another thing to pile on. Because it's hard to really describe. It's hard to really convey that message to people.
I mean, either go full-on cyberpunk or don't. That makes any sense.
Have you found a way to upload our intelligences yet?
Artificial intelligences?
No, upload our intelligences. Like cloning our minds, and so they can continue on without us.
Oh, like in the game, like the video game. No, not yet. Have I found it? No.
Like emotionally, physically, spiritually, I feel like I shouldn't be here, and I don't enjoy it most of the time. You know, so it's trying to be a positive person and give out positive vibes, when actually a lot of the time you're just thinking, I don't want to be here. I don't want to.
Yeah, don't push yourself too hard. Like, there's this old joke that the difference between outgoing people and introverted people is that introverts rely on their own energy. Like, don't pretend that you're positive. Like, it's not. You're just draining yourself out faster.
Yeah, honestly, like just play the hand that's dealt to you. You know, but you get to decide what the game you're playing. You know.
Want to be here. I'm 37. It should have gotten better by now.
She's only 37?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm older than her, and I don't feel that way.
I would take her on. If she's actually a she, I'd take her out for a cup of coffee.
I wonder if she's interesting in person. Like, aside from her appearance, like, is the appearance as a compensation for her personality? Because that would be kind of sad.
Oh, I hope not.
Oh, and it hasn't, and I don't think it ever will. So that's kind of how I feel a lot of the time. So honestly, when I read this life expectancy, 58, I was kind of relieved when I heard about this life expectancy. But then you look up why you're going to die, and the reason is suicide, and you think, because that's not what I want to do. That's not how I want to go out. I don't want anyone to have to leave this earth because they have felt so failed by the system. They have felt so failed by the world. They have felt so unable to fucking get through and master their neurochemistry that they've just had to go, I can't do this anymore.
I mean, just acknowledging that you're different actually helps. I mean, and I don't mean different in the sense of, oh, I'm special than everyone else. Oh, that's why I'm so odd from everybody else. That's why I have to keep that in mind.
Well, again, play the hand that you're dealt. You know, I honestly, I am built different in a very similar way, but at the same time, oop-de-doo, I want to be like you. I want to walk like you, talk like you. It's true.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it was like, I mean, one of the things I have to take account of, I am 6'3" with broad shoulders and long hair. And that, I imagine that terrifies a lot of people. Just by appearance. Like, I mean, you've seen me in person.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a fat bastard, but I don't just grow wide, but I also grow tall. You know?
You're very tall.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want that for anyone. I don't want that for me. But statistically,
although if you do meet someone, I heard that if you meet someone through an app, you're more likely to get attention if you admit that you're taller than 6 foot. Because girls like tall guys are dating.
Yep.
That's how it goes. But anyway, there was a third cause of death listed on the statistics that I read. They only did 1, 2, and 3. The third cause of death was cancer or heart disease, which for some reason seems to potentially strike down autistic people earlier than other people.
Heart disease, or what was it? Heart failure?
Cancer and heart disease.
Huh.
We like our sweets too much. I'm getting a little
don't know
fat
whether there is
myself,
some
dude.
link with. with heart disease or cancer when it comes to autism. This seems to be a grey area that no one knows about. However, I do think it needs pointing out that cancer and heart disease are always among the leading causes of premature death across all populations, so I would regard this as more or less a moot statistic, personally.
Fucking
But the
kitty.
reason
That's probably true.
this statistic is so alarming is that even though there are only really 2 causes of premature death in the autistic community, we're still only making it to 58 years old.
Oh, you madhouse
which means
nigger.
Oh?
You madhouse nigger.
What happened?
What the fuck? The autistic community. I'm like, get the hell out of here with that shit.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's always a community. Right now in my comment section of my new and older videos, someone's decided to ask, "Oh, you're homophobic because you're against the gay community." Like, they're like, how? I'm asking them.
Can I just take them as they come?
No, they say you're homophobic. Like, and I'm asking, okay, what's homophobic? I want them to answer. I want an answer, please.
They won't tell you because they don't know.
But there truly has to be an enormous amount of epilepsy and suicide-related death in our demographic, which means that if you aren't epileptic, suicide is...
Yeah, I mean, having a mental disorder defined as a demographic is probably the problem, because this isn't a race of people; it's a people who have a clear kind of defect.
I don't even call it a defect because, again, without defining without telling me what a perfect wheel looks like, or like a functional wheel, don't tell me what a dysfunctional wheel looks like. You know?
I guess averages would be it. Like, we define perfect, like normal as average.
Yeah, but then that's a mathematical assumption about the world. Like,
well,
one of the things
it's the closest approximation we have.
Yeah, but at the same time, you could make the argument that like it could be like something like O negative or something like that. You know, it'd be like being O negative or having, let's say, different. What the hell is it called? Melanin in your skin, I think it is. It's the term that like a lot of people talk about.
Well, I mean, that is what makes you dark skinned and black, right?
Yeah, I think so. It would be in the similar vein as that. That'd be how I would see it. You know, it should. You're still human. You're still part of the human condition. You just have a different part of different traits and features. Let's say.
Yeah, but of course, it doesn't cause you to have like higher rates of suicide, though.
Well, let me ask you a question. Does melanin in your skin give you a chance to be more violent or aggressive?
It's not because.
Do you see what I'm getting at here?
It's not necessarily because of the melanin. It's just more or less a correlation. It's not the causation.
Exactly. So you know, one of the things I hate about the autistic community or whatever community it is it's a marketing gimmick.
Ooh.
So many people are gonna buy into this. I mean, she bought into the notion that she's gonna die at 50. And think to myself, don't worry about it. For all you know, you're gonna be married to a wonderful, cyberpunk guy, or whatever the fuck it might be, and you'll be fine. Or God knows, maybe you'll be, maybe you'll be rich and famous. You'll have the lottery, and then you could do all the weird stuff the cat ladies do.
Mental health system is failing us on a grotesque level. I wish when they had done this study into autistic
don't trust the system. The system's not interested in helping you.
The system is legitimately enslaving you. There's an argument to be had that they will chemically enslave you. They'll make it so that you are legitimately addicted to medication.
Yeah, the system thrives on your taxation, and they'll make you even more dependent on them.
Yep. The best thing I've ever done was break free from that system. So I've been doing fairly well.
They had studied the age at
or at the very least, I shrug my shoulder. Yeah, the system's not going to help us. Like that, and acknowledging that is a big help too. Like, yeah, this system is not going to help you. Just please help each other.
Yep.
People were diagnosed with autism, because I really, really do.
But then again, that is kind of hard for a lot of people. Except, like, how can we live in such a modern times of today and not have a system that helps us? How could that be possible? Unfortunately, it's very possible, and it's something that recurs a lot.
Yeah. Look at the VA.
Oh no.
Have a huge impact on particularly the suicide statistics. The people who've had the understanding and the support all their lives, people who at quite a young age already maybe have like a support dog, their whole family knows what's going on with them, they're getting extra support at school, they know they've got their stim toys, they're learning healthy coping mechanisms for their emotional dysregulation and that.
Oh yeah, a couple weeks ago, I saw a woman with a pet iguana at a grocery store in Arizona.
That cool. That iguana probably is loving the heat down here. Iguana's probably in heaven right now.
Their heightened emotions and their heightened senses and all the rest of it, they're learning to cope with that young. I feel like those people have the capacity to learn so many skills early enough that they're going to get through a lot of trials a lot better. Whereas,
yeah, that's definitely not how it works. It's kind of like
No.
it's like that saying of being an overamped Energizer bunny. It's just gonna burn you out too fast, especially if you try too hard.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like the joke with the new version of Sherlock Holmes. He's just so overstimulated that he needs to he's just trying, everything he's doing is basically keep himself from not being bored. Like, he solves cases just to be entertained, basically.
You know, there are certain things you have to have a routine. Routine is very important to you. You know?
Oh, that actually reminds me. You know the video game MDK2?
No.
It's a cool game that came back on the Dreamcast, and basically your choices are like a armored like sniper, a 6-armed militia gun-toting dog, and a mad professor. And basically, and when you finally get to the boss, you find out his true motivation, because in the second part, in the first part, he invades the Earth, and he destroys it, and these 3 people save the world. And then near the end, he gets to the realization, you finally meet him, he tells you why he decided to invade, and let's see if I can find it properly.
Oh.
That's Dr. Kurt! I can't believe it took you this long to get here! Mildly amusing and often boring.
Are you implying that our hardship has been for your entertainment?
Oh, I had to let you in a few, just to keep it interesting.
Yeah, sure. You let us win.
Of course, you see, after one figures out space and time, there isn't much left to fill the void but entertainment. Otherwise, I'd sit here bored in my boudoir.
You invaded Earth for your own amusement? You pompous sea monkey!
Yeah, they literally will start wars just because they're bored.
But Paul explains why the cult stuff still exists, because it creates conflict and that creates progress.
It gives them stuff to do.
I mean, keep in mind, like, people like Bill Clinton, he's actually a genius. He does crossword puzzles just for fun.
Bill Clinton, let me just say this. Bill Clinton was, like, I will always remember Bill Clinton as the guy who was the animated president.
Ah.
He will always, like, I remember him from frickin' Simpsons. I remember him from frickin' Hysteria. I remember him from Animaniacs.
While Bill Clinton, he was in the intro. While Bill Clinton plays the sax, we Animaniacs. Actually, let me get that on the screen here. Let's say Bill Clinton. Oh no, Animaniacs.
Oh jeez.
Intro. Wacko. What's the line they use for it? Like, Wacko packs you with a snack while Bill Clinton plays. Let's see.
Bologna with our snacks.
And here, Yakko's cute and Yakko yaks. Wacko packs away the snacks while Bill Clinton plays the sax. Or Animaniacs. That's Bill Clinton. That's Bill Clinton right there.
That's no wonder my parents didn't like me watch this shit. Oh.
And he was a recurring. Wow. I mean, Bill Clinton was a recurring character on like Freakazoid, Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain. He was everywhere.
He really was, wasn't he?
I mean, George W. Bush would never be given that leniency.
George Bush was the guy who we all made fun of.
Well, the only people who were lenient to him were South Park. Like, that's weird. Like, of all the people to not go in hard on George W. Bush.
Was freaking South Park the libertarians?
Yeah, it's people and George W. Bush is like the hapless. He's always caught in the middle of something, or it's like an impossible situation. Like they had the episode of 9/11 conspiracy theories, and it turns out not George Bush and the others are trying to the 9/11 conspiracies is a government conspiracies, and when the South Park kids confront with like, boys, you don't understand. We need people to think we did 9/11. Otherwise, we look like we control nothing.
Oh, wow.
But it says, why not just tell people the truth? We tell the truth, and most people believe that. 1/4 Americans are stupid or retarded. And so if you want to believe the ridiculous conspiracy theories, why not? So George Bush is very competent in South Park. Although, actually, he's actually very competent in real life, because a lot of people point out that his southern accent was just a ploy to get people to relate to him.
Yeah, American people, right? Like the people from the South, right?
Yeah, the people want to have a beer with the president.
Oh. I don't know. Compared to being drawn with the president, I don't know.
And of course, all the actors, all the actors are like, I mean, and the new Animaniacs, the new when they came back, they had a whole intro mocking Trump with like Russian bots. And, like every other joke was a Trump joke.
Maybe I might buy the Animaniacs on Blu-ray at some point.
The originals are fine. The new one is not worth your time.
Well, I'll be the judge of that. And even then, apparently, like I actually got to see Minerva and Minx again. Now that you bring up Animaniacs.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a miracle she even existed as often as she did. Like, wow. Like she doesn't inspire people to be furry. She just inspires young people. Like, wow.
She just inspires young people.
That's the polite way of saying it. Of course,
she inspired.
But here's the thing: I was too young to get the joke. Like I look at it now, like, how is this ever allowed on TV? It's amazing.
Oh, dude! Like between you, me, and Romanian V, like he's been watching like Farscape and crap like that lately. He's been like watching a lot of the older stuff, and like, I'm gonna watch Babylon 5 at this point.
Here we go.
Oh boy. Raw.
It's like the world move around her hips. It's so ridiculous how proportionate she is. And of course, I was too young. I was way too young to get those jokes. Because this is like throwing things I got. Like, okay, when the pretty girl walks by, all the guys go awooga, awooga. But I didn't get. As a kid, I didn't know what they were oogaing about.
Oh jeez.
Let's see. Wait for it.
Pepe.
But then what? But like, it's amazing how far they went. Like what was that from? It's like
Spike Lee.
Wow, they actually bothered like having the top, like almost the top almost off, and then, as if it were provocative enough, they actually have a curtain.
This is how you.
How was this allowed on TV? Oh my gosh!
I think my parents told me we don't want you watching anything with Steven Spielberg in it. I could see why. They were very, very like they did not give a fuck. Holy hell!
Let's see. Oh, there she is again. Hello, nurse. Hello, mink nurse.
I don't even know what a minx is.
Like a squirrel, but nicer fur.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like there was always a joke, like in old cartoons, like a mink coat was like a sign of wealth and status.
Oh,
but of course,
okay.
but I think you have to hunt a lot of them because they're so small. You have to hunt a lot of them just to get the fur.
That's okay. I'll take the fur. I'll like the fur. That sounds like a good trade. 100 lives for like.
And it's always funny when she goes at like she goes at the diamond on her neck. Hey, babe. Hello, doctor. I mean, she should say doctor, but nurse just rolls off better. Let's see.
Anyhow.
Oh wow.
Besides.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
God. Oh my gosh.
What is she based off of? Like usually animators base stuff off stuff. Like I know like the chick from Dragon's Lair was based off like a pornographic actress. I know that there are almost certainly a chance that they had some sort of female that was based off of this character. Let it be Marilyn Monroe or something.
I don't know, but actually, now that I think about it, a lot of internet, like, there was these old internet animated videos with girls that are shaped just like that, like, designed just like that. So, I don't know, maybe it's like a Playboy joke? Like a Playboy comic joke?
It could very well be.
See, what does the internet say?
Does the internet say?
Nerva Mink, based off of...
Probably Audrey Hepburn. There are a lot of people based off Audrey Hepburn. Monroe, maybe.
Let's see. Fictional characters, Mink, blah, 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 blah. What is she based off of? They're kind of reluctant to... originally called after cinema bombshell Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, there you go. I could,
that makes
blondes,
sense.
color-coded for your convenience. And then there's Eat the Cat. You gotta go watch Eat the Cat. That's something we gotta bring back.
That was so weird. wasn't it?
I have not seen it. I'm gonna have to look at it at some point because I'm building my library, Luke.
I mean, the only thing I remember,
library.
the only part I remember was the Terrible Thunder Lizards, because that's when the show actually got interesting for me.
Yeah, I remember Terrible Thunder
look
Lizards too.
She's so anatomically correct. It's ridiculous. Oh, the animators knew what they were doing.
The animators. Part of me thinks to myself a lot. If we could just accept these guys as what they are, and like let them do this type of shit, because that's really the problem. We're not letting these people do this type of shit. We're not letting them operate to the fullest. They want to go draw like weird furry crap. Let them. But as long as they as long as they help pay the bills, it's all good. Because I take these fuckers instead of the fucking feminists any fucking day.
Every single keyframe is a pose, like the way her legs are. But then watch what happens. Uh-oh, the bad boy shows up.
I don't even know what the hell that is supposed to be.
It's like, like John Travolta from Grease.
Oh, jeez, it is John Travolta from Grease.
And then she goes like, uh-oh.
Are you sure it's not freaking James Dean? That's
probably,
the real question.
Probably. Of course she goes berserk. Like, does he? I don't think he goes berserk. I think, I know he's like, we're odd girl. See, what does he say? What does he say? Let me unmute that.
What a yutz.
Definitely Jewish.
Jews.
But I mean, it's Spielberg, so of course they're going to have all the Yiddish joke lines.
Hey, as long as I learn new languages, that's all good.
Yuts, putz.
Oh, man.
Yiddish has such great words.
It is. It really truly does. It's a very, very fun. It's originally mimetic, very mimetic.
Oh, probably.
So speaking of, this is the final thing I got for tonight. There we go. This happened.
Did East Germany copy the Wehrmacht? What is this?
This is the new psyop. So you guys gotta be careful because they're beautiful. It's not only perverted, artists who are hanging out with freaking Bill Clinton, right? Or basically homaging him and making him have a cinematic universe, right? Or animated cinematic universe.
Uh-huh.
Now we have to deal with actual freaking psyops.
Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be covering why the East German uniforms look similar to the ones used in the Wehrmacht in World War II. And if you don't know me already, my name is Amira, and I specialize in Cold War history, and especially the uniforms of the Cold War.
Let's see, she already has 11,000 subscribers, and this video has 84,000 views. I wonder why. Maybe that's what my new thumbnail should be, just sexy versions of, like, ancient figures.
Sexy of who?
I mean, but then again, there is literally no way to make Karl Marx sexy.
Can you do, like, a female version of Karl Marx? But maybe,
I mean, Marx is defined by his beard, so how do you transfer that over unless the girl's a dwarf?
Try it.
We all know what the Germans were wearing in the Second World War, and the stigma is still very strong to this day. So why, after the Allied occupation of Germany after World War II, did the Soviet-occupied East Germans keep the appeal? Let's talk about it. In my opinion, these are very different.
Is this a psyop? What is this about?
Just look at her. Just look at her. Just show her.
She's pretty, but what's the psyop part?
Do you not see the uniform she's wearing?
Well, yeah, but isn't that just for show?
That's just for show, yeah. But then you have to ask yourself the question: why are we talking about East German shit? It's almost like this. Like if we're supposed to say we like the East German shit, we get busted, right?
Because you always have to wonder what the algorithm wants us to promote.
Exactly, Stasi's.
Anyways, so the year's 1945. The Allies had won, and Nazi Germany was left with its leader dead in a bunker. The four largest Allied nations took it to Potsdam and talked it over at the Potsdam Conference.
Is she American?
I think she is American. So she's probably she's the latest psyop, guys.
Well, who was that one young girl, the alt-right girl who was what's her name?
Avelian?
I think so. That was her name?
The one with the picture of
having birthday cake to Hitler.
Yeah, Avelian. Yeah, the girl with the bad teeth. Yeah.
Is that what this is?
No, I think it's the same thing. Yes.
Them deciding which areas to split to one another. and this was left with 4 respective zones to each ally, and the East was given to the Soviet Union, which later became East Germany. The predecessor to the NVA, the Nationale Volksarmee, East Germany's military, was founded by the Soviet military administration in Germany after the conference. It went into numerous name changes until it finally landed on the KVP, which translated to the Barracks People's Police. It was more of a militarized police force than it was actually a military, and they wore uniforms very similar to the ones used by the Soviet Red Army. It's pictured here. The Soviets quickly realized...
Like, this sounds like just point... Oh, she adjusts her hair real nice. But, like, it seems like a pointless nitpick. So, like, why East Germans dressed like the Nazis? Is that what this is about?
Yep, she's trying to justify dressing as a Nazi. You know, she's trying to to go the Hugo Boss experience.
Let's see, what else does she do? She only has 2 videos.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for your support on my last.
Oh, she's so cute, isn't she? Ah, what am I doing? That's the trick. It's a trick.
Now you know why I like evil women, dude.
Video concerning East German dress uniforms. You guys helped me hit the 4,000 subscriber mark after one video.
After one video. I wonder why. She has 11,000 subscribers. Oh my gosh. She's probably monetized already.
Mm-hmm. Video is gonna be...
I get why transsexuals exist, because men want to be girls so badly for this nonsense. But it never works, fellas. It never works.
No, it never does.
About East German chemical.
I mean, you can only present yourself as a trans, which is your only selling point, which is only goes so far. Like, unless you're going to go like Blair White, it's not going to get you very far. Unless you're a socialist, of course, then it'll get you really far.
Yep.
So, let's talk about it. Was East German.
She doesn't even have a good microphone, but that doesn't matter. She's pretty.
Standard camouflage pattern issued to the NVA first in 1965. If you don't know what the NVA is, or what it stands for, it is East Germany's Armed Forces. It stands for Nationale Volksarmee. Now, Strichtan was used all the way from 1965 up until German unification in 1990, a year after the fall of the Berlin Wall. Once the unification came
Well,
about,
if it's not a psyop, she's found a niche for herself. Good for her.
Yeah.
The Nationale Volksarmee handed over a lot of military assets to the Bundeswehr, which was West Germany's armed forces. So this included uniforms, so that's why they don't use Strichtan anymore, unfortunately. They use Strichtan now. Now, I believe that military shouldn't always rely on aesthetics. That goes without saying. I mean, we have had a couple of militaries in history that are infamously very fashionable, but that didn't work out very well for them in the end. So many people argue that Strichtan...
yeah, make fun of the French. This glows so fucking hard.
Patterns at the time. But hey, it looks cool, so who cares really? The reason for Strichtan being issued in the first place was because it was another part of the desovietization process of East Germany, similarly to these guys right here. Now, if you have
well, she sounds intelligent, but I'm not sure how much of that is an act. Like, oh my gosh, she's an anime character. She's an anime girl. Look how skinny she is.
I know, right? The little frickin'
the very
tummy
tight, and the tight belt. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh no.
My prior video on East German dress uniforms and the desovietization process, do check it out. Obviously, the NVA combat attire was nothing like the Wehrmacht, or really anything else in German history. So, what exactly did they desovietize about if it doesn't look German at all? Before Strichtan, there was a little something called Blumenton. Blumenton was from obvious Soviet influence. I think that Strichtan not only looks better and represents East Germany better as a whole, it is also much more available to collectors and a lot more reasonably priced. Finally, let's talk about the design's origin, the rain-falling pattern. So we're going to take a little bit of an up-close look at the pattern here. You can see that the camouflage pattern
like Tanya the Evil.
Now this rain-falling pattern was taken from the Wehrmacht Splittermuster. As you can see, Splittermuster had that sort of rain-falling thing too, and a lot of other patterns had that thing going in the Wehrmacht World War II. It is also...
Oh,
yeah.
Good for her.
Good for her. Amen.
I mean, I wonder if she already has a social blade. We can estimate how much she's made.
Oh Lord.
I mean, she's only been. When was her first video posted? Her first video
just recently,
like 4 weeks ago. But wait, no, she can't have monetization yet. She has to make a third video.
Yep.
Let's see. Offer Mila. Oh yeah. She doesn't have monetization. She wouldn't have it.
Damn.
Maybe they estimate her viewership. Maybe could be there, but probably not. It's probably too soon. Oh no, she is B minus, and she has about if she were monetized, monthly earnings about $1,000 a month.
That is disgusting.
That's good for her. If she gets it monetized, she just post that third video and she's ready to go. But of course, it's estimated. We don't actually know if she actually makes it, because the lowest she could be making is $77 a month.
That's still a lot. That's still groceries, dude. Or gas money.
For a month.
Yeah.
Of course, I spend a lot more on gas than in 2 weeks. But yeah, it's
Eh.
good for her. So yeah.
Yeah.
If you go to flaunt it, stretch your stuff.
Yeah, man. Amen. So, other than that, that's pretty much it. Luke, any final thoughts?
I have one nice clip for this being what the show being what it is, and here it goes.
I know how it can feel in this circus. Sometimes it all just feels pointless. But it's not. Not if you have people who care about you. Good memories can do a lot. Hold on to them. And cherish the people around you. You never know when they'll be gone.
Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, take care of one another. Remember, saving the West is a side quest. This is the Renegade podcast out.